Welcome to the A.I.P channel where anything is possible. Make sure where we'll talk about anything and everything, as you always know. Another episode of Talking with Conspiracies, or like Jamie likes to say, Talking with Truths. Of course, we have Jamie is back again, and Dave has returned to give us some more insight. So it's going to be a good one.
The world is falling apart. I hear it is anyway. Hey, anybody check the stock market lately?
I haven't this morning. I was this afternoon. I haven't. I did it yesterday. I was kind of mad at my old employer because they wouldn't let me get part of my money out, and I just watched it drop about $3,000 yesterday. So
it sucks, man. It sucks.
Sounds a.
Well, my 401k survived. Granted, we've not made it to Friday yet, but so far, I'm not doing horrible. So,
it was just a little bump, but
now they're saying, from what I understand, depending on who you hear it from, our economy fell because of Japan's economy. Now, I didn't know that our economy was based on the Japanese market, but the people that know tell you that our jobs report came out and the rest of the world went, holy shit, America's not doing real well. But it's all depending on where you get your information from.
Well, we are a world economy. You know, everybody based on everybody, and with the petrodollar and all that, it's one can drop and it makes them all drop, but it's still a crock of shit.
Yeah,
either way, we have these impulse moves too. Fear-based impulse moves can be a big. So, once that ball starts rolling down the hill, it doesn't have to be logical. Any investor will tell you that too. That a fear-based impulse drop is that's why they're all on the talking box saying buy up. This is a buying opportunity. And is it, or are you downplaying some fear or some real tremors in the market?
Iran was going to invade Israel, and the world went nuts.
Started moving their money around.
It happens. That's what happens on cryptocurrency all the time. Like, it happens on cryptocurrency. You get somebody and they get a rush and it starts dropping a little bit, and then people panic and they sure enough.
So did you hear on Monday that during our little free fall episode that we had with the market, there were different online providers that stopped trading. They were not allowing people to get in and control their assets. Now, I mean, if something sounds kind of shitty and shady,
Is it the 70s all over again? Oh.
You remember with GameStop and the Robinhood trading app back right after COVID, 2001, when they froze, everybody was trying to dump and they froze to protect the big overextended brokers. So absolutely, man, they'll shut it down. I happen to own a few measly shares of GameStop because we'd bought a couple of different game oriented stocks, just noodling around because of COVID. It was like everybody's going to be playing video games. That was the logic behind it. And then that little crazy thing happened, and it's a huge profit, but it was just a couple shares, unfortunately. What were you going to say about you? You had some involvement with that same move.
Yeah. So the same thing, man. I got in on GameStop. I got in on Dogecoin as well. Man. And the Doge came out pretty well for me. But the AMC, man, I got locked up where I was trying to sell, and it was not taking my auto sell. So I've got an auto sell set up at a certain amount.
Sure.
It rose above it. I'm not selling. I can't figure out what's going on. It's still up there at where it needs to be. So I get in, change the auto sell to a manual. And when I do, the price difference is significant. Like I lost about $8,000 because of an auto sell not going through. You know what I mean? And I was pretty upset. Then I couldn't play the dip anymore because for the next day it was entirely locked out. And
It's rigged that way. You don't have the fiber optic speed that the big brokers have, man. You're going to get the last action. They're going to get out first. But you know what I mean? It's totally fucking rigged, brother.
You know, 100%. And what was crazy is you would see these peaks in the morning and pre-trading market where, you know, your stock would be trending 10, 15, 20% higher than where it is, and you can't do any action on it. But then the minute that the market opens, all that pre-activity drops. So all these people were trading out at a higher rate before the market opens, and then when the market opens, me, you, Joe Blow,
you open it,
man, we already took our hit. Now you got to sit and wait.
Yeah.
Right. I'm like, what the fuck?
You know what's sad? I seen a guy was talking on that, and it's happened so much now that they figured it out as it's a money making scheme right now, and so people will take and put people into companies, you know, and like GameStop was one of them. They did it. Kmart was another one. Toys R Us was another one. They did. They put people up in power and just run it to the ground and drop their price and cause their price to drop. And then they turn around and they bought it up. And then once it dropped to shit, they were actually able just to take that and write it off as it was such a tax break, and which in turn made them money. And then they do it again. They do it with another company. That's what happened to all these great companies that we used to have. It happened with Sears. It happened with Toys R Us. They tried to do it at GameStop, and that's when people come together and said, "No, you're not doing it with GameStop," and we're fighting back. And if it wasn't for that, GameStop would be gone now. It was there, but it was for whatever reason it's legal. But they are going around and planting moles inside companies and putting them up in power and getting people up there, and then they'll run them to the ground because then they'll buy up the shares these companies are, and it's effed up. It really is. You know, to think about it, you know, all these people losing their jobs, and you know, we're losing companies to buy stuff that, you know, we've worked with and that we like going to, you know, like Circuit City. I used to love going to Circuit City. Hell, I don't like going to none of the other ones now.
Do you feel like products to go to are of anywhere close to the same quality, better or worse than they used to be? I mean, you know,
no, it's daily. It's daily. It's it's more and more. It's more and more making it where you can. It's replaceable.
Let me tell you something. In my kitchen right now, I live in a house that.
Yeah.
I live in a place here that was built in 1914, right? The appliances that are in my house, there is a dishwasher and a stove that is 1978 avocado green. That shit works like you would not believe. I have a rental property. I have a rental property in Horn Lake, Mississippi that I've owned for 6 years, and I've put 2 fucking dishwashers in. So help me understand how brand new dishwasher fades out after 4 years, but yet that 40-year-old machine in there is kicking like you wouldn't believe.
I'm telling you.
It's like hell. I got a TV, a cheap TV. It works. I've had 10, 12 years. It's a flat screen, but it's, you know, just an older, non-smart flat screen TV, whatever. And hell, when I bought this house, the only thing I bought new when I bought this house was a 55-inch TV, and that sumbitch went out after not even 5 years being here, 4.5.
The TV that I have now, the last month of my warranty, that joker went out. The last month of my warranty. So I call the people up and I'm like, hey, TV's messed up, man. I got this image. I mean, this blurry spot in the right corner of my screen. She's like, well, it looks like it's the last month of your warranty. You know, man, you're pretty lucky, dude. They sent me a brand new TV and then gave me a 3-year warranty with it. I got 8 years out of my TV, bro.
Nice.
And now this thing is like jamming, man. They upgraded me from the 50 to the 60. They hooked me up, man. They hooked me up.
I
I'm
hooked
not mad at
myself up.
Vizio.
I
I
think the
hooked
deal
myself
is
up. I went
if
from
you
a
want the quality, you
55 to
have
a
to
75
pay.
inch because hell, it was 300. It's going to cost me $300 to get my 55-inch fixed. And I paid 520 right there around Christmas time for a 75-inch Samsung. And I was like, fuck it, I'll pay 520 for a
Brand new.
75-inch before I pay 300 to get this TV here fixed. It ain't worth it.
No, man.
I
These
took it.
TVs are so
I
cheap
gave it to
now.
a friend. I gave it to a friend that had one of them smash shops here in town where they're like, here you go.
Take the
Y'all just go
hammer
to
and
town.
bash away.
Yeah, y'all can do what you want to. I was gonna throw it out or whatever. I'm like, nah, let somebody get some good use out of it. Give her hell.
All right. Ricky Pike, I need your opinion. We're ready to dive in. Let's talk about it. Are you familiar with our new vice president candidate, Mr. Tim Walz?
Yeah, Mister Let Minnesota burn,
He
burn,
did.
baby.
He did. Did you
Let
hear, though, after the fact, like 18
Tampon,
months down the road,
Tim.
he was like, hey, I messed up. I should have called in the National Guard. I made a mistake. I should have called him in, you know.
Well, supposedly his daughter leaked what time the National Guard was supposed to get there
Sir,
to the.
there's no supposedly. It's
Oh,
verified. She
so take
posted
them
it.
off.
She posted it online. Okay, now, of course, I'm sure now that she's been called out on it, to be like, oh, my account was hacked.
And his wife was saying how she had left the windows open to smell the burning.
Smell the burning rubber.
Yeah,
Bro,
I
come on,
knew it was
man.
a moment. It was a moment in time that I knew I need to. What in the hell, y'all letting your city burn to fucking death?
So here's what
The
a lot
mall,
of people may
one of
not
the greatest
know.
malls ever in the country, and it's destroyed.
Here's what people may not know about Minneapolis, Minnesota, and the region up there. That region is the home to the largest Somali population in the United States. During the 1980s and during the 1990s, there was a huge influx of immigrants that came in because of the poultry and the beef farms up there, and they need people to work them. So they brought in all these people over here, basically set them up with a job, a place to live for 30 days, and told them, hey, if you quit your job, we're shipping your ass back out of here. So, boom, they import all these people up there. I've been up there a few different times. I've met some people up there. It's a very interesting culture up there. But one thing that's gone kind of crazy is our boy Governor Waltz has changed the flag to the state
look like
of Minnesota. Have you seen this? Bro,
I
look.
I heard he
forgot
changed it.
about
I
that.
forgot what he changed it to.
Give me
Looks
just
like
a
the
minute. I'm going to
Somali
go ahead.
flag.
I'm going to pull this up for you here.
Yeah,
Bro,
it looks like the Somali. I forgot.
Yeah, I forgot too, man.
this is probably
what
the
a slap
craziest
in
thing
the
that you are
face.
ever going to see right here. Share
Yeah, I
screen.
went through Minnesota probably '08.
So here's the current flag, or this is what was the current flag, right? Look at this.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Okay.
Whoa,
Now
wait a
they're
minute.
saying that's the new flag. I think I don't know if he just did this as as whatever, a stunt or whatever. But when you go to the old Google, you know, um, it still shows it as no. I guess it is the flag of wow. Is that not interesting?
Hmm.
Well,
Show us the Somali flag.
Minnesota's lost. Oh, you want to see the Somali flag?
Pull up the Somali
Yeah, we
flag
gotta see the
for
comparison there.
reference.
I, 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 I still kind of think, well, you know what you and me talked about, Jamie, was last week um, about. I think they just gave up on this election. The The left has just gave up. The Democrats have gave up on it.
Somali flag, blue, white star. Oh, look at that right over there. Kind of similar.
Yeah. Very.
It's
very,
interesting, man.
Very simplistic, minimalistic.
Things that make you go,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty obvious move right there.
Now, on the flip side of that, what I'll tell you is that, like I said, I spent a lot of time in Minneapolis. The company I worked for, we operated one of the sports stadiums up there, and I spent several weeks out of the year up there. And I met, most of your cab drivers, your cabbies up there are Somalis, and I met this guy that was from Somalia. And the reason I know about the poultry farms is because he's the one that broke it down and explained it to me about how he came over to the U.S. Man, he's one of the nicest guys that I had the opportunity to talk to over there, but I think that, where he is very in tune with American culture and on the side of it, I think that there is an element in there that is the anti-American,
the dominant majority of that community would be indoctrinated with anti-American sentiments, 100%, indoctrinated to vote Democrat, 100%. Absolutely. Yeah, that guy would be the exception to the rule, wouldn't he? Yeah. Unfortunately, it is a cultural issue, but that's the reality.
But what's crazy is, but I have a lot of Muslim friends. And almost all of the Muslim, in fact, let me rephrase that. All of the Muslim people that I know are all diehard conservative.
Of course. There's an interesting coalition population forming, actually.
I don't do what?
There's an interesting coalition forming.
I missed what you said, Dave. Run that back.
There's a pretty interesting coalition forming between Muslim, which is conservative. They're not with the LGBTQ stuff. They're not with the degradation of. They're not with the fast women. They're not with all that stuff. They're trad.
Right.
Now, you skip past the beheading and the terrorism stuff. You get yourself a nice, normal American Muslim who's just like, trying to talk to God, but he's not really the caricature you're fed. And you say, hey, man, I might have more in common with this guy than not. There is a concerning radical element always, but sure, there's almost like the horseshoe theory, right? We're more alike in some ways than you might think. I saw a Muslim, I think it was Nick Fuentes, who is demonized, as a white supremacist and all these sorts of things. If you ever listen to him, he's kind of intelligent, actually. I don't know if that's not allowed to say, but I've listened to him and I'm like, where is he wrong? He says extreme things, but he has a keen intellect. And he was on with this compadre of his, Muslim guy, and they were like, man, we are kind of been told that we're enemies and we're not, for a long time. And so I thought that was interesting, a different way of looking at it.
The beauty of the guys that I hang out with is our church comes in the form of sitting in the living room, different views being shared around, and then just asking questions. You know what I mean? And I've had to have like a serious religious conversation with myself about what my beliefs are, because like the more that I explore Islam, the more questions I have about my loyalty to Christianity. Like one of the things, the big difference between Islam and Christianity is that Islam does not believe that, say, Jesus is actually the Son of God, because you only worship one God. You don't worship the man, you worship God, right? And I'm like, well, I kind of believe that, and that's where my Christianity kind of falters a little bit, because was Jesus really God, or is he just another prophet like Muhammad and like these other prophets that we've had over, hundreds of thousands of years? So yeah, man, I don't know. I just treat people as people, and as long as they treat me great, man, I dap everybody up and hug everybody up. And when somebody tries to kill me, well, now we go to a different fucking level. It's
there's good people in every race and sect and creed, and there's the bad thing about what we have, especially with this day and age, is the social media, and so the dumbest and extremists and the most ignorant people get to express their opinion online. There's lots of good opinions out there, and there's good people and stuff able to get on social media, but there's a lot of dumb mofos out there too that just
impressionable people that can be led. You know what I mean? That don't know how to think for themselves. And
there you go. Yeah,
there's a lot of easy manipulated people. You throw them anything, you throw them a little bone, and they're going to run with it for 100 miles. And like,
right,
you're like, did you even look at that bone? Did you even see that it was,
Jamie?
Did you look at that? It was poison, and you're dead now. It was kind of.
To address your point earlier, Jamie, about why the Somali community may be a little different, I think that there's highly organized, kind of Saul Alinsky-esque community grassroots organization in certain cities, Chicago, Minneapolis, where they're very organized politically in a radical way. And so that's why you're going to see, I think, that. And maybe what you're describing, Jamie, is normal dudes, men who are basically Southern dudes, but whatever.
You understand that extreme Islam is a government funded.
There's
I truly believe that extreme Islam is a government US funded.
You're saying our intelligence quarterbacks scenarios to then save us from.
Well, yeah.
What an audacious
if we
thing
create
the
boogeyman,
you're right. You're dead
you've
on.
Seen it's come out to how much money was that they've been pouring into ISIS and everything. They're like, well, we didn't realize that how many people was actually part of ISIS that we were sending money to. So it was, I forgot what it was, a week or a month. How many?
Bro, don't they run the cartels too?
$238 million.
Ricky, wouldn't you say the cartels? They're doing the same shit with the cartels, like keeping that.
Oh yeah.
We shouldn't talk about this.
Listen, they're running drugs out of Afghanistan. They're running drugs out of Nicaragua. They're running drugs out of Colombia. They're running
American
drugs
made, baby. American made.
And then hang on. One more thing. And then Fast and Furious, Mexico. Ooh. We armed the entire Mexican cartel. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Eric Holder and President Obama. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
But if you look at Afghanistan, and the reason we went over to Afghanistan at the time was the poppy fields were being burned.
Mm-hmm.
And they were destroying the poppy fields. And then all of a sudden, then we had our freedom, the ISIS and freedom fighters went in there and all of a sudden to overthrow that. Well, that's the reason we were in Afghanistan. And there is, I've seen where people were talking, soldiers were talking about that they were there protecting
the fields. Yeah.
That's all they were doing. That's what they were over there doing was
there are a lot of these podcasts that are out there now. Right? So first of all, during
Pat Tillman, y'all brought that up before, right? Didn't he write that in his diaries when he was sending home letters and saying this is all bullshit and it's corrupt? And then he caught some friendly fire with some 50 cal in his back. They tried to cover up the medical examiner report, right? And then the ME wouldn't lie. And they were like, oh, it's friendly fire. Because at first they wrote this big story, right? And it was all bullshit because they killed that dude for whistleblowing.
Yeah.
And that was, I mean, is that close to what happened? Do you guys think it was a little different with Pat Tillman? Because he was screaming on that, right?
It's
been a long time.
It doesn't surprise me.
But I remember that being essentially what happened there. But
multi-billion-dollar industry. The the alphabets. you got the
that's better.
That's a multi-billion-dollar industry. The opium and stuff and all that. And all of a sudden somebody's over there burning them fields and stuff and taking it and knocking it, like knocking production down. I think it was over 50 or 60% opium production was down until we arrived.
Until we got back over there.
And like, wait a minute, hold up.
Freedom. We
gotta have our drugs now.
Freedom to those people.
It's just like in South America.
They keep talking about all this money that just disappears. How it's like every different campaign has just this black hole of money pit that, money's going to Taliban in Afghanistan. Money's disappearing in Iraq. Money's disappearing in Haiti. Money's disappearing. You know what I mean? It's like nobody knows where the fucking money is.
It's a laundry.
2.3 trillion missing the day before 9/11 out of the Pentagon comptroller. Right, 2.3 trillion. Pentagon.
Now listen,
Before they hit it with a fucking missile.
Right. And then building 7 fell down with all the information that they were using to try to find that $2.3 trillion.
That was
inside
just
building 7.
That was just from the heat next door
without a plane hitting it.
The heat next door, bro. Come on, dude.
Yeah,
physics and stuff.
Fires. The only time in history ever a fire dropped down a skyscraper.
Stunning and brave.
You know, I was on board with the whole thing for about 3 weeks. Okay. Man. Like, I believed everything that Wolf Blitzer and Anderson Cooper told me for like 3 weeks. Then I kept replaying my mind of what I saw on Shanksville, Pennsylvania on the aircraft that went down. Bro, there's no tail section. There's no fuselage. I didn't see a piece. I didn't see a piece bigger than my hand. You know what I mean? And they're like, well, you know, it went into the ground so hard that it disintegrated. Man, shut the fuck up.
The only time in history that happened too. The only time in history that happened.
Ricky, how long did they trick you?
And the fire was so.
They tricked me a lot longer than they tricked y'all. So great. Years they had me. Go ahead, brother. They had me for years.
The fire was so great. I was going to say the fire was so great. You know, it collapsed 3 buildings and blew a hole in the middle of another one. But we'll talk about that in a second. But their passports were found on the damn ground right beside the fucking building without being damaged. When I seen that, I was like, that was my first number one. Like, what the fuck is that? Wait a minute, that don't make sense. Then you looked at pictures of the Pentagon before the roof collapsed, and it was round hole. And then the plane there in Pennsylvania, that there was no plane wreckage whatsoever anywhere. Mm-mm. I'm like, wait a minute, this don't make sense. And like nowadays, even now, I was talking to a friend of mine. I ain't gonna put his name out there or nothing, but I said, have you heard about Building 6? He's like, what? And I showed him the picture. And where the center of the building is gone, but nobody talks about Building 6. And then when they turn around and put all the crumble and all the steel and they shipped it to China to get recycled. Hurry up!
Isn't that crazy? They put that on a
who was in charge of
that? They don't want no bad thoughts on it.
What was his name? That's Trump's boy
Rumsfeld?
Now. No, it's Trump's boy now. The lawyer done that. Oh, the big lawyer, man.
I forget what his name is.
Former mayor of New York, white guy, Trump's buddy. He worked in his cabinet to some capacity.
Giuliani.
Yeah, Rudy Giuliani.
He was a big. Yeah. He was in charge of that, and he had that area cordoned off and had the fucking evidence carted out. That's absolutely right. Thank you, Mr. Giuliani. Yeah, just wanted to make sure we remembered that because
and that's why you have all these architects. That's why you have all these architects now. That's something else that made me ask questions too, because you got all them architects that's just want the answers. Like, we're not conspiracy theories. He's like, we're not talking about lasers or no planes. I mean, we don't care about none of that crap. We want to know how in the hell did them buildings come down at free fall rate?
Right.
And as you're going down and you watch the videos of it, you see explosions coming out the windows as the bombs went off, as the building came down. That's what it was. I mean, there's no denying it. There's no other way that the building could come down like that.
Don't you think it would topple to the side or something, if it were weak on one side?
The only time you see a building come down that way is by demolition. That's the only time if you put a demolition building both of them right beside each other, and they come down just the same way. They collapse on itself. The building will not. There's never been another building happen to it. There was a building. Where was it at? I got so much stuff in my head. But it burned for 3 days. It was on fire for 3 days and did not collapse. It did not fall.
It didn't have jet fuel in it, Ricky. And
burned for a couple hours.
Burns at a billion gazillion degrees.
Yeah.
You ever see that meme? And it's the jet
garbage.
fuel with the flowers to the steel beam. I'm melting. It's a great meme. No, you're not melting because of anything but thermite.
Hey, so listen to this garbage right here. This story was published on January 23rd of 2002 through CNN. Beijing, China. China's biggest steel firm says it's received the first shipment of scrap metal from the World Trade Records and is soon to turn it into steel plates. Chinese state newspaper had earlier reported that Shanghai Bostel Steel Coop planned to turn 50,000 tons of ground zero steel into souvenirs, including models of the Twin Towers. So we outsourced the World Trade Center to China, who then melted it down and then sold us back souvenirs of the World Trade Center. They bought it at less than $120 per ton.
Gee. Okay.
I'm going to see what the rate of steel.
Wow.
I mean, that's, you're just thinking about all the expense it took to from New York
average
to go all the way around
is $1,112. 10 cents
so you're
on the dollar.
So you're gonna ship from New York City all the way to China. So you're gonna have to put it on a ship and go all the way down, all the way around the entire world. Or why couldn't we use our method? It's just another thing that just made me go. It made me go, And then you had the Boston bombing happen, and that another one made me go, But
yeah, that was a little strange, huh?
Especially when they were talking about they were doing a drill, and every time
that's a red flag.
For several years there, we had at the same time there was a drill going on at the same time that terrible things happening in the United States, and that was another one. It was like we're supposed to have a drill across from the library.
9/11 was drills, all type of terror attack drills. Okay, right?
That makes sense.
9/11 had the drills going, right?
9/11 they were drilling. That's why they even said it during the that's why the planes didn't come in on NORAD, because they're like, are you being? They were asking even the pilots, are you being for real? Is this part of the drill or is this actually happening? And they, of course, they were drilling at the same time. That's amazing. The Boston bombing happened at the same time as the drill, and 9/11 happened at the same time as the drill.
There's an old documentary. I think it's InfoWars documentary, but it's called Terror Storm, and he documents in there where there was a change to NORAD policy in June of 2001 that made it so that there had to be it was president, vice president, or secretary of defense signature to sign off on the shooting down of a pirated aircraft. Specifically, that piece of law or operating policy was changed 90 days before, and essentially it was foolproof, because what it looks like it did was we have to give you permission to do something, and then we just might not give you permission to do it, right? So they watched the second jet come in, 5 miles out, and they just sat on their hands, and nobody went to prison for that ever. But what a disgusting inside job. And then now they sell us the melted down trinkets of the evidence of their crime as keychains from China, right? So just a spit in the face, more of that humiliation, right? What a slap in the face.
Things that make you go, damn.
That's terrible.
So I just want to throw something out there that is kind of coming through my feed right now. So Governor Walz, he has a military background.
Does he though?
Basically ran on a campaign. Well, hang on. He ran on a campaign about his war service over in the Middle East, and now it's come to find out that basically
he's a hero.
We're learning that his unit was given orders to deploy, and he immediately put in his retirement and ran for Congress. Now, what's funny about this is like when you catch, because there's tons of video of Biden just
hero?
outright lying that he was never held accountable for. Well, apparently right now there's tons of video of Gov. Waltz
the hero
apparently saying very similar things. The hero about being well, there's a online personality that goes by Angry Cops. Okay. Angry Cops is a former U.S. Army drill instructor, and I believe he did some time in the Marine Corps as well. And he is a Buffalo police officer who is now this online fucking guru. He is funny. You need to watch his videos, Angry Cops. But he said he's currently collecting articles and video that go back as far as 2006 about people that served with him calling out his exit from the Army prior to their deployment. And he's going to drop all these videos this weekend. So Angry Cops on Twitter, follow this guy. He's going to be a whole lot of fun to watch this weekend. And he does fun breakdown videos. And yeah, you're going to enjoy this.
So you're telling me Tim Walz is not a heroic
my tangent of his
combat war veteran?
It's
almost stolen valor.
Way.
Then it's almost stolen valor, man. To spout that as I'm a decorated I served, but you copped out before you went to duty and left your platoon. I actually read he dropped out of school and everything. He had committed to some school, majors academy of some sort, and he quit that too, just so he didn't have to fight. Is that what it looks like?
Yeah, that's why we won. They actually had to take some rank from him, didn't they?
Man.
I seen something where they had to take some rank from him because he didn't finish the school when he retired.
They busted him out. So for you to retire with the title that he had of regiment commander or whatever the hell it was, you had to be in the position for a year, and he was not. So they took that away from him, and or unit commander or whatever it is. I'd have to look up the exact language and what rank he was.
So he's spineless.
Yeah, man.
He's just a creature. I should have called the National Guard. Well, they probably don't fuck with you, bro, because you left him hanging. What a creature, man. Coward.
And he put tampons in boys' bathrooms in schools.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Because every boy needs a tampon.
Yeah, to dip my Kool-Aid with.
You have
like
a
vagina, kids.
You're not a boy.
Yeah, that's an absurdity. That's more of the humiliation ritual, making us participate in these absurdities, making us participate in their madness. That's crazy. Like, you know what I mean? That is absurd. I wouldn't want my kid going to a school like that. And you're telling me that's like the whole state there, huh? All of Minneapolis.
A friend of mine was talking about like, yeah, pretty much. Which, I mean, probably a lot of it, is,
Boys
in Minnesota.
I'm going to tell you, I'm surprised that they have not found this kid as an adult and just publicly shamed him.
How dare he say that? Little bigot.
I just couldn't resist. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's funny, man.
There's that movie. I'm surprised you can even find the movie in the clips anymore.
Man.
Twitter, baby. I'm telling you, Elon Musk, thank you for saving Twitter.
Yeah, he really did.
God, they're going to come for him next.
He did. There's lots of bots on it, but it's still it's the wild, wild west, and it's awesome. So Twitter's where it's at. If you're not on Twitter, man, get on Twitter.
So Ricky Pike asked he asked a kind of an interesting question about what I thought about Elon Musk a few weeks ago, and asked me, what if he's really just one of them and a bad guy? And I'm like, interesting scenario, because think about this. If you needed to cover up exactly what Twitter did, think about what they did, man. Look, they shifted an election. They are a hub and a distributor of child porn. Elon Musk stated it right after he bought the company that this entire company is a crime scene, right? So what if you just needed it all to go away? So Elon Musk steps in and buys it, right? Knowing he's got access to the chat logs, the files that have been shared, the information that is, I want to look at the hashtag campaign going back to the Arab Spring. Who started the hashtag campaign, Day of Rage, and who pushed it? Where did it come from? Who organized it? Why hadn't that information been released?
Well, they act like they play these cards close to the chest,
yeah.
but ask you to trust them. Like, oh, that's the whole Q conspiracy, which I find ridiculous personally. Is it's all under control. They're actually in prison and they're all just awaiting their death now, and right and well, the same could be said with this Elon. Like, if you're sitting on all this, where's the release? Where's the action? Where's the dump? Are you waiting on Trump to get back in? Maybe. But yeah, that's it. That's interesting though. If that can't go unadjudged, that needs to be.
And here's the other thing. Here's the other thing, right? We changed the name of the platform. Is he a sheep in? I mean, a wolf in sheep's clothing. You know what I mean? Because they changed the name of it from Twitter to X, right? No, let's call it Twitter. Let's never forget what Twitter did. You know what I mean? Twitter needs to remain Twitter. Now, I'm fortunate I can still go to twitter.com and it pops up when it needs to pop up, but use it by its name. Point out the fact that it changed an election, that it swayed information that you couldn't find out about Hunter's laptop, that you couldn't read about ivermectin or hydrochloroquine or, natural immunity. You couldn't talk about the nursing home deaths in Michigan or New York or man, come on, bro.
Well, I think we have our answer. Don't we know that the government intel agencies were cooperating with Facebook, Twitter, and telling
they were working there, bro. They had offices. They had offices.
Right. So who do you tell in a city this corrupt, to quote Batman, in a town this corrupt, who is there to rat to? The fucking feds were in on this shit. Like, they were there. Right.
It's one of the things.
The alphabet.
They were in on it. They had a direct line of communication.
The BOIs, the boys. Oh, man. That's insane, bro. Corrupt to the core. Corrupt to the core,
I mean, it's one of the, it makes you think. It makes you wonder. Is it all just a big cover up to cover all this kind of information up and giving access to a lot of people where they can communicate, like we should be able to, but it's still, yeah.
Hey, give me access to the system. Give me access to the system. Let me dig around. I want to look through Nancy Pelosi's shit. I want to, you know what? Hey, listen, you really want to see some shit? You want to get into who's my girl, Chrissy Teigen. Chrissy Teigen. I want to look at her personal messages.
Ooh, she's nasty. She said a bunch of nasty shit.
Her husband was sitting there getting information, and for stocks and stuff, and they were selling, and beforehand was trying insider trading, and that got disappeared too.
Did you see her response to that?
It was a big old sting for about 5 seconds, and then that naked dude or whatever.
Yeah, beat her husband.
Then the naked guy come in there and attacked him. Beat her husband up, and then all of a sudden, all that shit disappeared.
Questions about the stocks after that, huh?
Imagine that.
Did you see her response to that?
No more insider trading. Let's just talk about the gay dude who was like her husband having gay sex,
that's right,
with the guy or whatever happened.
Elon Pop, or no, not Elon Pop, David Pappy, Pappe. Yeah. They found a mentally ill, psyched out drug addict, sex worker to go and do this. Another almost borderline MK Ultra. Like that's the concept. You find somebody with real problems and you crash them out on a dummy mission. That's the concept. It's not rocket science. So that's what they did to that guy.
Have you?
I think they have a new program. I think MK Ultra is alive and well, and I think it's just supercharged, and it's a whole new program. I truly personally think the guy from from the other day was MK Ultra.
100%.
The guy from Trump.
Yeah. So they talked about. All right.
I believe he was.
So check this out.
Because of all his.
Check this out. Let me set a scenario. Let me set a scenario for you. Okay. Take that kid for example.
There you go. Set the stage up.
Let's say this kid right here has 3 or 4 different comm channels that he's communicating with people. Telegram, probably got a Snapchat page, probably on Twitch, probably on some other online gaming channel, right? He's got random people communicating with him. Somebody hits him up out of nowhere and is like, hey, little brother, listen, I know you feel some kind of way about this or that. Let me tell you what you should think. Rah, rah, rah. Hey, here's something you should go do. I support you. Here, what if I give you some money to go do this? Look at this fake account overseas that I set up for you. Here's all this money that you'll never see. Why don't you go do this? Dude climbs up on top of some shit. Pop, pop, pop. And they're like, well, I don't know how he could. Let's search that man's history. You know, they talk about, we know that he's got these encrypted accounts. Now they're saying that he's got, now they're saying, they're not saying communication accounts. They're saying accounts. He's got international accounts. Like what kind of account? Are we talking a banking account? This motherfucker got money over there?
And they still can't get into them, supposedly.
How do these 20-year-old kids that don't have a job end up with $1,800 rifles with $1,000 ACOGs on them? Now, granted, this kid, I believe, just had a red dot, but some of them have two $2,500 setups. Where did he get the money from?
Parents, teachers, and students about how they see themselves fitting into their life.
I'm done.
Things that make you go.
I'm done.
Make it.
I feel like I just need to close the laptop.
That's how. That's how something like that would
it's
look.
Really, I really think it's. Go ahead, Dave.
No, I was just saying that sounds about right.
Yeah, for real, it does. I mean, it does. None of it makes sense, But truly, in my mind, the only thing that makes sense is that MK Ultra is programming, and for if they're going to try to take them out, that's why there was such a delay in the police presence. That's why there was lack of trained people there. I mean, everything adds up to attempt. They wanted to either try to take them out on one side, or on the other side, they wanted to have this attempt to boost them up. Which one happened? I guess time will tell. But
Dave, you watch. Have you ever heard of the TV series called Utopia?
You know what?
The definition
only because you mentioned it. Yeah, you mentioned it. You mentioned it before, and it piqued my interest when you mentioned it on the last show. Tell me a little more about it, though. Refresh my memory on it, though.
Did you watch it? Watch an episode?
I haven't yet.
Check this out. So the little description says, after a group of people who meet online discover a bizarre graphic novel which seems to hold mysterious answers, they find themselves being tracked down by a merciless organization known merely as the Network. Now listen, if you change the Network and you call it the CIA and then watch this series,
right,
dude, like holy shit. When you talk about them raising people to be droids or drones to go do their bidding, man, like some of these scenes, man, they've got these little kids that they're raising from birth to go murder people, man.
Mm-hmm.
Watch Utopia. It only lasted one season because they canceled that shit.
So
watch.
It sounds like it should
show.
be called Dystopia.
It'll blow your fucking mind.
Do you remember the book Brave New World by Aldous Huxley?
Speaking of shows, did you?
I'm sorry, guys. There's a delay on mine. I think that's why it seems like I'm kind of
with it.
Trampling you guys. It's a delay on my end here.
You're fine, brother.
Okay.
It's all right. It should clear out once we upload it. It'll clear
Okay.
out.
Well, Jamie, Brave New World has the same premise, and it's an older book, a much older book. And it actually is a turn of phrase. You may have heard it in the Bond movie, where he says, "Oh, it's a brave new world." Speaking about technology, but in that book, they're training up kids with indoctrination, categorizing them by their personality type and what they're going to do for the rest of their life. And in that book, this book is almost 60 years old. There's a scene where they're sexualizing these kids because they're going to be the breeders. And the guy giving the tour or the expose to this other guy is like, "Can you believe we used to be so backwards that we didn't allow this and encourage this?" And so you just read that book, Brave New World. It sounds very similar to this. I'm going to watch Utopia now, but they're kind of putting it in front of you, and the playbook is there, man, and it is unfolding.
And I'm ordering your book.
Yes.
I got Jamie, did you ever get a hold of the TV series Dig?
No, I did not. I did not.
Dave, have you ever heard of this?
I'm looking at it. No, I haven't.
It's called. It would come on the USA Network, and it popped in my head, and I couldn't find like videos on it or like clips of it, so I went and bought the Blu-ray. I'm like, man, I want to see this. Like it was one of them things. It's like I got to see this again. The premise of this is it's like three different groups actually they're trying to bring the end of the world pretty much, and they have the red heifer. It's all the kind of stuff around the Middle East.
We talked about this. Yeah.
I remember you and me did. I think the first one.
Wait a minute. This
the bringing new tap.
I remember Dig. Yeah, I remember it now.
It was several years ago.
Yes, I do remember.
It was several years ago. Yeah, like they're bringing up the new tabernacle. It had the red heifer, and they raised the boy in the desert, and never let him touch dirt, and it's freaky as hell. But it was like, I wonder if that's like truly after watching it. I'm like, man, except for the very end part, whatever, they stopped it and they stopped the whole collaboration and all that kind of shit. But is that what's actually going on right now? Is there really they're already talking about the red heifer, and they're already built the new, for not the tabernacle, but not the sacrifice place where they could actually sacrifice. Right. When they're red heifers.
Who is that?
I hadn't heard anything else about him for a while now. That was back in earlier that part of the year.
There is an Israeli Messiah Watch group or organization that actually they've given Trump the Torah crown, and they've put Trump on that coin with the dove and the years with the other king and stuff. So there's some circles that are in the Jewish community that think that Donald Trump may be their guy. He moved their embassy. He's been very pro Zion for them. So, and they sure put him on that temple coin and gave him that Torah crown about a year ago, maybe two. Something to watch there. So, I often think that these people are trying to like fulfill prophecy. Like they feel like they are the hand of God in a certain way, whether for good or for bad. There's a dark side to it too, but something to watch. Interesting is, definitely keep your eye on the Middle East, bro. That's where it's all going down.
So that a human was cloned, right?
Not surprising.
Haven't seen that.
So apparently, from what I understand, it may be two people were cloned. But back in 2001 or 2002, there was a company called Clonade. Let me look this up. Clonade, I believe. And they created this cloned baby that they named Baby Eve, right? And it was in Israel. But like, man, you talk about people playing with, playing God, man. I mean, I don't know how I feel about that,
CRISPR technology,
here I just found some
gene
articles on
editing,
it. You know, and in
cloning.
2015, they acknowledged. Yeah. So in 2015, Israel acknowledged that the baby is alive and well. Wow. How does that make you feel? You know, we talked about, you know, the possibility of them bringing back woolly mammoths, and everybody went, whoa, we think that's a horrible idea. But it's like, hey, we're going to clone a person. Yeah, that just seems like it's fine. Go right ahead.
Did you guys ever hear Yuval?
They did that, and they did that in the show.
Did you guys ever hear Yuval Noah Harari when he said, when he was talking about human beings are now hackable beings, and the future humanity 2.0 is this sort of integrated, like organic human, but upload your psyche, as it were, into the system, into a system, a hardware system. The reason I bring that up, talking about all these shows, there's a show called Altered Carbon where essentially your stack, your center of being, can be removed from your vertebral column and put into a new sleeve or body. Essentially, and the people in the show, they buy insurance, they have multiple backup bodies, the rich people do, right? And so it reminded me of this sort of obsession by some of these elites, like Jamie said, that want to play God. They're cloning, they're altering DNA, gene editing, they're doing all this stuff. We talked about Neuralink already, and the two edges of that sword, potentially ethically. But I think there's an obsession by these elites to sort of achieve eternal life, but without going like through God or through religion or through, you know, but they want to do it through their own mechanics. You understand? You ever come across anybody
right
that believed anything as crazy as that?
No, I've not heard that one before. My TV just turned on. I'm going to have to mute that. My God.
Damn ghosts.
No, my PlayStation just turned off on its own. I'll be right back.
All right. Have you seen that Saudi Arabia gave the robot a citizenship
Do what?
over in Saudi Arabia?
No.
So Sophia, she's that robot that they've had all kinds of. Jamie, you back in
I'm
here,
listening.
Jamie?
I'm listening. Yeah, that's the one that has developed feelings.
Yeah, Saudi Arabia actually gave her citizenship and stuff too. So, you know, like she's an actual person. It's
stunning and brave.
It's a wild new world we're living in now.
Wait till they give it. They actually give its voice power. You know, hey, we agree with what it says. We should do that.
It's coming. That's why they're integrating AI into everything.
Right.
Everything you turn around, it's got AI integration into everything. Any kind of little small basic app, you know, or social media, whatever. Everything's got an AI and just spitting out.
You know,
shit.
bro, I saw a video the other day of this new drone system that's being deployed by the U.S. Army, right? And they've got this little, it almost imagine a little red wagon for a kid, but it's an Army little green wagon. And the top just opens up, and then these 12 little bitty drones, you know, boom, 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 boom. You know, dude, you don't even need snipers anymore if you've got a little pocket-sized drone that I can send out a quarter of a mile or 2 miles away, and it just fly and hit you in the freaking head. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they had the one that come out, and it's a one-shot wonder, but it'd come up there and step. There's a bug. It's like the size of a bug, and it pull beside you and fucking blow your brains out. Have a bug land on you and kill you. It's the technology, and that's just what they're showing us. That is just what they are allowing leaks or whatever are showing out in person. That means they got 10 times better than that.
I hope I can find this. Have you seen the dogs? you know, the robot dogs or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, we have it.
What are you saying, Dave?
There's a new one.
I sent you a couple things. While you guys are talking about futuristic war, we'll come back to it in a second. Jamie, go ahead and finish your thought, but we'll put it up in a second. Rick, go ahead, Jamie.
Here it is. Yeah, I just want to show you this, man. If this ain't the scariest fucking thing you've ever seen right here, this is what we have to look forward to.
Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
Now I don't know what your nightmare is going to look like tonight, but holy shit, you know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, I've seen this one, Ricky. Absolutely, I've seen this one. Yeah,
That's what Dave just sent me. So I was like, you already had things sharing, so I figured I'd go ahead and let you pop it up. That's what
it's just a picture. It didn't give me the video.
Sure. No, I didn't. It's a long clip. I was just going to let you show that thumbnail with the title on it. It's an hour-long video, but
yeah,
it's worth bringing up because this is, I guess, a West Point lecture. This guy, I thought he was exposing this technology almost like a whistleblower. He's, in fact, just teaching some cadets that the future of warfare is dropping fucking smart dust, nanotech, self-assembling fucking smart dust that you just bomb a village with it. It gets in everyone's body and they're now hackable. And he is not saying this is a dream. He's saying this is what we're doing now. This is what you need to equip yourself. This is the future. We're moving forward with this, more or less. And so that is a very interesting video to watch. And then that other picture is just a CNN clip. I think that was where he gave the interview of Yuval Noah Harari. He gives TED Talks. He's supposed to be this smart person, but he says a bunch of weird shit about the next phase of humanity merging with machines. And so it's a very real frontier that is being broached as we speak, I guess. So anyway, two little points of interest, man, for anybody that wants to dig into that. Yuval Noah Harari and Dr. James Giordano.
We lost Ricky. How did we lose the host?
Oh, I do see where. Yeah. I see there. Well, maybe he'll. Well, we'll hold him down for a minute.
That is too funny. We lost the host.
Well, he knows his way home.
We lost you. Click your link. That is too funny, man. How do you lose the host? That's pretty good.
So this rang a bell for you, huh, Jamie?
He went bye-bye.
You had saw that. You said that rang a bell for you when you saw that picture.
No, the video. No, I thought it was the other picture where the dude throws up the AI drone. Oh. And it comes and hits the mannequin beside him. That's the video I thought this was. And then I started looking at the bottom. I'm like, the brain is a battlefield. I'm like, wait a minute. No. This was a drone that hit the guy in the brain. Damn,
there we go.
Hey, look who's back.
Welcome back.
The hostess with the mostess is back.
Awesome.
Big stuff happens.
Hiccup.
At least we weren't live today, but yeah, it still had me gone for a little bit. That's all right.
Right?
Yes,
I'm glad we're all back in one piece now. All right, let's see. Let me close this. And we're still recording, Ricky.
Yeah, we're still shitting and getting, baby.
Hope you enjoyed your trip while you were gone.
I don't know. I was trying to see why my internet was kind of lagging just a little bit, and I touched it, and it said burn, and everything cut off. My light cut off on me, and everything. It's like, oh, I fucked up now. But I'm back better than ever.
Nice, you made it. So, have you noticed the growing trend online of people calling the president and JD Vance creepy?
Yeah, what is the most?
What's that mean?
They don't. That's their cute word right now. The word of the day. Pee Wee Herman fucking bullshit. That's their Pee Wee Herman bullshit.
They're creepy. I'm waiting for somebody to put a montage. I'm sure there's one out there.
So I suppose he wrote a book called Hillbilly Elegy, and evidently in it he confesses to carving a hole in a couch cushion and relieving himself, as it were, or handling his manly business in the couch there, kind of American Pie style, but couch not pie. Yeah. And so I guess that's the basis of it all is he but I recall a liberal movie called The Long Shot, maybe with Seth Rogen, and they're very liberal. And in it, like at the end, the climax of the movie is, hey, everybody jerks off. You caught a video of my guy jerking off and I'm not going to drop out of the race. And that was the premise of the movie. So for them to now like pivot and be like, JD Vance beats his dick. Like, shut the fuck up.
I'm like, don't you when you're bored? I mean,
stupid, very stupid. I thought they were so sexually free and liberal, and everything, right?
And of all the people that be calling anybody
weird, creepy, yeah, you guys are weird.
Yeah, like come on now,
right?
You're really gonna call anybody creepy?
Like, weird.
Some
man.
of their stuff.
You guys are weird.
Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's upside down world, bro. Clown world for real.
Now, my friend of mine, I was talking to him earlier tonight, and he said it, and he said, "I think we're just all in a damn movie." I swear, and like it does seem like it. You see a lot of people that we live in a simulation and all that kind of stuff, and then some days it makes you wonder. If you got. We were talking about this on the last one. I remember me and Jamie were talking about this, and like, you got Hulk Hogan at the Republican National Conference, ripping his fucking shirt, doing the whole fucking Hulk Hogan thing. Come on, Trumpsters, baby, and all this shit. And then you got on the other side, you got Meg the Stallion over here twerking on fucking Harris's shit. And
we tried to get Meg the Stallion
to
come and twerk at my last rally, but she wouldn't come. It was everybody wants Meg the Stallion. She twerks the best. It's the absolute best. Excuse me. Meg the Stallion, yes. But all we could get was Hulk Hogan, Hulkamania brother. So he comes down, he rips the shirt. It's a great moment. So thank you. But yes, it was very, very, thank you, Mr. Hogan. Sorry, man. Trump shows up over here, bro. He shows up, man. Unannounced. I'm sorry.
I just think it's
wacky, bro. You're right.
It's the movie Idiocracy. I swear. I say we're living the movie Idiocracy. We truly are right now.
Oh man, like 100%, man. And we've dumbed down society so much that. And I feel like social media has given these people a voice because nobody wants to be pictured as a bully. Listen, I'm gonna be the first. As a kid that grew up being bullied relentlessly, some motherfuckers need to be bullied. Okay, I mean, some people need to be taught a lesson. Lessons are hard in life, and first of all, nothing is free. Okay, and this emotion game that everybody plays of, they hurt my feelings. Man, your feelings are fucking irrelevant.
When you're in the real world, it's not giving them a good opportunity to really understand the real world, and you see it now. So many people can't even cope, and then so many people are on all kinds of medication and stuff because of it. But they can't cope because they're like, well, yeah, let's cater your every little women and feeling, and then now they get out in the real world when they're the kids and teenagers in school, like, oh yeah, you can have your safe room and all this stuff. Then they get out into the real business world and like, wait a minute, they're being mean to me. That's just life.
Let
That's
me
what
tell
they're
you,
going to do. Life ain't easy,
when I broke into the casino business back in 1996, I was going to craps school. We didn't have a human resources department. We had a personnel department. And my craps instructor one day got upset at one of our female students that did not speak English very well. And Tom threw a casino bar stool across the room and screamed at the top of his lungs. He pushed all the chips in the table and is like, fix that shit. And he stormed out of the room. Bro, nobody thought to go to human resources and complain about Tom's poor behavior. You know why? Because we were terrified of this psychopath and all we wanted to do was pass our craps audition. You know what I mean? But if you did that today, dude, everybody in the room would be suspended for a week while we ran a full investigation. Tom would be kicking cans down the road because his ass would be fired. First time you screamed at an employee, oh my God, stop it.
I don't know where I used to be. I mean, there was a lot of people that still like, and then they just try to cover it up. Like, come on, y'all know this, and uh, and I spoke out about it and stuff. I had one when I was a foreman. I had another foreman come up to me and come across the back of this shop, cuss me from one side. It's probably 150 by 100 shop, and he started one end and was cussing me from the side to the other. And he
He
come in
didn't
there and
know
I
who you
tried to make a
were.
little joke. I try to make it like, trying to make, all right, like he kept on. I was like, and I just kept getting madder and madder. And he finally walked away from me. And I called our boss, there's both of our bosses. I said, he ever speaks to me like that again, I said, I will bury him on that fucking yard right there. I said, there's fucking too much equipment there. I will dig a hole and he will be gone.
He would
I
just
said, I'm not letting
disappear.
anybody. I said, he's not my daddy. I said, he ain't even my fucking boss. I said, I ain't letting nobody speak to me like that again. I said, I don't need this job that fucking bad. And he didn't speak to me for like 6 months or something like that. I'd call and try and fuck with him, just make him fucking speak to me. But, uh, I'm like, man, there's no point in that. It was employees fucking running out of the shop because they knew shit was about to get ugly. And if he had, I was just waiting for him to just reach out and touch me is all he had to do. But it would have got ugly. But, you know, either I would have
He
whooped
must
him or
not know who you are or what you
yeah, that's
do.
probably why he didn't touch me. But because that's all I was waiting on, that's a touch. Because I'm not saying I can whoop everybody. Like he would, either he would have whooped me, I would have whooped him. But I wasn't going to take no fucking ass chewing like that no more. Like I told him, I told my big boss, I was like, I ain't. That's the last one. That's it. I said, any fucking body speaks to me like that again, I said, I will fucking bury him right there, and I'll
Yeah.
walk off this yard.
Man, listen, you can tell anybody anything that you need to tell them, but there's a right way to do it. And then there's you're going to get your fucking ass kicked way to do it. You know what I mean? Come on,
Yeah.
man, being cordial and even being stern. Listen, you can be shitty with me and still make me feel like a person. You know what I mean? You don't have to. Yeah, there's a right way and a wrong way to do it.
And the bad thing is, like, we were having classes and stuff showing like how we were supposed to, uh, deal with different personality of people and all that. We were going to classes and shit. None of that classes fucking shit work. Nobody kept on people doing the same stuff they always did. But of course, that all got covered up and shoved on the rug because they didn't want, you know, this person seen somebody else fucking a goat or something. I don't know what the hell they seen, but I swear somebody had some leverage on some people, but I but yeah, it's a lot of companies, like more and more, and now it might be different now. I don't know, but
don't the recruits in the boot camp get a little timeout card now
it's
for
a different
their
world.
feelings? Don't they have like a timeout safe room? Like, oh, boot camp's too much, I can go. Is that? I read that was a thing. You hear that?
Yeah, I think they've softened up on even boot camp and stuff. They can't be yelling them out like they used to.
For real.
They can't be doing this and.
Yeah, I'd heard that.
They're making cupcakes and holding flags and stuff.
Like a trans poetry contest or something cool like that.
Too much, man.
While
over in China, they got their fucking kids fucking
boots on, their rifles on their shoulder, marching,
shooting guns, breaking weapons down.
Go watch a Russia military recruitment video, and then watch one of ours, man. Yeah, it's we're a conquered nation in some ways, bro. That's real talk.
Hell, China, you have to serve so long. They don't give a shit.
Israel too, male,
you don't
female,
want to or not. You still got to spend so many times because they don't care. I seen a video where some Japanese kids were fucking tearing a fucking engine apart. Like, looked like they're about 10. They're sitting there just pulling the head off this engine and stuff. And I'm like, man,
you look at TikTok.
Our kids that age fucking don't even know what a fucking clock is.
China has
a video
wholesome version of TikTok, and then you look at our version, and that kind of is just a microcosm. They have educational, wholesome, like STEM type stuff, and we have like, oh, can your daughter catch a fucking hot dog in her mouth or something dumb? Like dumbass games. I'm borrowing this from I think like another podcast, but essentially like they have a clean version, and then they pump us with this algorithm that just pushes trash, and our kids are dumb and can't function.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. They do have a different version over there that they allow. They won't allow this bullshit we have over here on ours.
It's freedom of speech. I get that. Yeah, it's like
that's what's in the algorithm. It's lots of.
Yeah, it's not good for our future, is what it is. Unfortunately.
No, it's what's in the algorithms of just stupidity and whatever we can distract us and divide us. Mm-hmm. That's what gets pushed out to us.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Oh yeah, it's all a psyop, man. Everything, the social media campaigns, like the current social media campaign right now is the whole. Donald Trump went to Atlanta and went and spoke at some African American or Black conference, however they labeled it. And he made the comment about illegal immigrants are taking Black jobs. And immediately the hashtag Black job started trending, and everybody's posting about their high-end Black job. Even Simone, the gymnast, posted about it, about my Black job. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. I'm like, that's not what he's talking about. Because here in Memphis, they talked about, hey, we need jobs for all these young Black kids. Where are all the warehouse jobs at? So you know what? They built tons of warehouses. Amazon came in. You've got Nike here. You've got a bunch of warehouses down throughout North Mississippi and out in Collierville, right? Guess who works there? Nothing but Central and South Americans. They bring them over on what's called an I-95 visa. They stack them 4 deep, sometimes 6 deep in 2-bedroom apartments. They pay for their transportation back and forth to work. Those are the Black jobs that are being outsourced. You know what I mean? But it's a social media campaign. They have figured out how to tune into these people through social media, and they just run with it. So now if you get on TikTok and you look up Black job, you've got doctors and lawyers and all these professionals, man, that are posting about their jobs. It's like, well, that's not what we're talking about. You know what I mean?
Nor is it the norm, unfortunately. it's a little bit arrogant of Simone Biles to be like, yeah, we're doing just fine. Look at me. I'm a gold medalist millionaire. It's like, that's not the average black person's experience, Simone.
I'm talking about the guy that's making $20 in South Memphis right now. That's the dude right now that's now losing out, you know?
Yeah.
It's like Ricky Gervais was talking about, all the celebrities and stuff shouldn't do nothing about politics and stuff because hell, they don't know nothing about it. You know that at the Oscars he did that whole spiel.
Funny, I loved it, man. Funny, by the way.
It was great, but I mean it's the truth. But nobody wants
Tom Hanks looked so bothered.
He was looking for the exit.
Especially when he did the Epstein, and y'all had to find your own plane to get there.
He's all your friends. You're all his friends. We know. I don't care. See this face? I won't be back.
Man.
Yeah.
That was excellent.
Ricky, too good, man.
Don't care, man. And I mean, it's the truth. They sit there and say all kinds of stuff. I'm like, y'all have no clue of what's really going on in the damn world. Y'all in make believe fucking world every day, and now y'all make believe in your head. And
Ivory Tower,
man,
for real. Ivory Tower, looking down
and just looking down on us. Oh, y'all come up here. I seen it. I hate it because he's like, you watch all these movies, and then you like the movies, you like the characters, and now, but because of them speaking out on shit, it's like you don't even want to see the movies no more because you don't like the person. The actual person.
Let me tell you something. There was a TV series that I started watching during COVID that was called The Rookie. And it's about this 40-year-old dude that decides to quit his job and become a police officer. And it's all about his trials coming up through being a police officer, right? So they make 2 seasons of it, and COVID happens. So then they bring it back out with a 3rd season, and the very first episode of it opens up with all these different people from the Alphabet Gang that have all their different pansexual, non-binary. We've got our first pansexual, non-binary, all crackpot team, and it goes through each of the individual characters. And before it could get to the last one, I turned that shit off, and I never watched it again. Because I was like, why was it so necessary for you to fuck up a perfectly good TV show with all this bullshit? And your first episode coming into the brand new season is let's identify all the LGBTQI, ABCD, XYZ, and everybody in between. I'm done, man.
It's a fucking cop show. Give me 3 quarters straight couples, maybe a mixed race couple, and 1 gay guy. It's fucking pretty accurate, and it's cool. Move on. Don't need 50 trans characters. Thank you.
Man.
It's like
it's propaganda.
It's like everyone. Like every show you see has got to be. It is. It's everybody's got to be so diverse. Everybody's got to be so you just can't have a normal person on there. You got to have extremes of everything. I don't even watch regular TV no more. Really,
they ruined it.
I watch YouTube shows and channels of, and that's about what that's that. Or I'm watching YouTube to learn something. I got some car shows I like to watch. That's about all I even watch anymore because of all the crap.
Yeah. I'm not watching it to be preached at. I'm watching it for entertainment,
pushing the agenda.
That's why I quit watching NFL. I don't need to be lectured at with a sermon about my guilt and all. It's just like I want to escape the bullshit. And now, yeah.
You know why I quit watching the NFL? Because them some cheating bitches, okay?
Rigged.
Listen, I was watching a playoff game in 2016. It was the Saints. I'm pretty sure it was was it they were playing in Atlanta. I can't remember who it was. It was the most bullshit pass interference non-call that you've ever seen, and I've never watched a single football game since then. And people are like, "Oh, you quit watching because of the kneeling. You didn't." No. It was because of that Saints playoff game. I've never watched a football game again.
So I read this book some years back called Number Games, 9/11 to Coronavirus. And it's all about like gematria. And having read it, and the proof is on my Twitter page because I tweeted out mid first or second quarter this past Super Bowl because the announcers were talking about numbers and magic, and they were like, it's going to be magical. This will be only the third time a team is. And I looked at my wife and I said, the Chiefs are going to win by 3. And I tweeted that shit out. You can go look at it. I should have put money on it, but I don't have a gambling account open, and I'm in Mississippi. But anyway, it's fucking rigged. Like you said, it's fake as fuck. Facts all day, bro.
I believe it is, man. I believe it is. Like I'm almost confident it is. You know,
you hear more and more referees and stuff come out and kind of drop the bomb on it and drop the whistle blow it, and it's I hate to say, I mean, I love sports and I love competing and I love all that, you know, but
it's Vegas.
It's looking more and more in it.
Vegas mob leaning on it. They're not going to take a loss, money. So they'll make a call if they have to.
If you see something fucked up, if you see something fucked up or sideways, follow the money. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Every time, no matter what the subject, what the situation, follow the money.
I agree.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing with these kids, these shooters. Look, man, all these shooters, all of them. I want to look at their social media accounts. I want to know who's talking to them, who's sending them money, who buys these kids these expensive toys. You know what I mean? Yeah, where are you? I mean, you know, like I said, the guns that these kids end up with alone are worth $2,500. They got $500 worth of tactical gear on. Somebody's buying that shit. You know, look, bro, I'm gonna tell you,
ammo ain't cheap either.
Ammo ain't cheap.
You know who's buying it? You remember that Gretchen Whitmer parallel constructed shit show where they tried to frame those boys? The feds brought in. I'm sorry, the alphabets brought in a fucking gift card. Dude was hip enough to not use it. He's like, yeah, dude, I'm actually really straight on this crazy shit. Like, but dude's like, no, it's a really good idea. And the guy's like, yeah, I'm not so sure. But since he didn't jump out of the moving car, you put him in federal prison. You know what I mean? Like, it's a joke. So that's who paid for him. We did. The people's taxes.
So here's the crazy part about that, right? You take that same situation and scenario right there, and you apply it to radical Islam. What they do is they look for the maniacs in the crowd, you know, the people that have the low IQ, the people that are so into it or whatever, and then they strap a bomb to their vest and they put them out in the freaking street. You know what I mean? It's no different than the LGBT shooters. These people that are part of this community, they're using those people the same way that they use these people overseas. You know what I mean? It's just a different country. It's a different way that they're coming at them, but it's the same.
I read a book called Synthetic Terrorism about the staggering amount of Fed cases of they foiled terrorist plots, but actually they had made the plot, found a mentally ill fringe guy,
created them.
Right, and then said, hey, I've got this bomb, you want to entertain a conversation with me? And then the guy's like, yeah, sure, Allah Akbar. And then they say, we just foiled a fucking right, and it's a joke. It's synthetic. You created the whole thing. Yeah, that's a travesty of justice, and that's going on too long. So anyway, probably should stop talking about that too.
It's a regular occurrence these days. You know, if they want to ruin you, they're going to ruin you. You know, what was the Will Smith movie?
Enemy of the State.
He ends up with Enemy of the State, bro. Listen, real life scenario right there, man. You know, And what's crazy is when you look at the way that they socially ruin people these days, it always starts with some kind of sexual assault scandal. Some random chick shows up out of nowhere and is like, he did this to me back in 19 what the fuck ever, and all of a sudden we're going down this rabbit hole of ruining a person, you know.
Is guilty before, you know, you got to prove you're guilty, and then you got to prove your innocence. You're not innocent before proven guilty. Y'all pulling out books. I got one. Here. Ooh, got
what is that, bro?
One Nation Under Blackmail.
All right.
That's volume 1. That's Whitney Webb. One Nation Under Blackmail.
I know that author. Yes.
She has podcasts. Yeah. She has. I got them over here.
Very nice.
Yeah, she has some good podcasts and some good thoughts. I heard her on Sam Tripoli podcast a long time ago, and that's when I got that. Got them books. Sam has some pretty good guests sometimes. Sometimes he got some off the wall crazy son of guns on there too, but which Sam's pretty crazy as it is, but
kind of like old coast to coast radio.
But some of the stuff he
remember late night coast to coast. But anyway,
coast to coast.
Hell yeah,
it's still on, bro.
Oh,
but I listened to Alex Jones. Yeah, it is. It is on 600.
Oh hell,
at midnight. Yeah, but I listen to Alex Jones. It's what I go to bed to. You know, man, listen, like I said, he's been right way more than he's ever been wrong. And yeah.
Founding member, bro. I had to get the InfoWars founding member coin. Tree of Liberty, watered with the blood of patriots and tyrants. Yeah. I love Alex, dude. I do. I'm afraid that I kind of think he's a controlled CIA operative. I believe that he's controlled controlled opposition, but I still find him to be magnetizing, and I fucking love Alex, dude. So yeah, this is an InfoWars t-shirt actually I'm wearing.
Right.
Yeah, he has been so right so many times. It's scary. You know, he was right on 9/11. He was right on them frogs.
Bro, is that not crazy? I remember the first time I heard that, and I was like, that's just stupid. And then I was like, wait a minute, what? It's real? Get the fuck out of here. You know, the stuff you find out, bro.
I was trying to see if I had the video. I thought I damn retweeted it or something. Because
here we go, bro. Got to find somewhere to slap this baby right here.
Oh, here
the media is the virus.
Oh yeah. And my internet is being stupid as always. I think they're trying to lag me. See what I'm trying to do here.
It happens every now and then. How long have we been on? 90 minutes. Yeah, they're cutting you off. They're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Been saying too many of those 3-letter alphabet words.
Yeah, we keep messing up on that. Here's my old buddy.
Yes. Oh man.
Atrazine throughout our water supply. You in a lab. There's atrazine throughout our water supply. If you in a lab put atrazine in a tank full of frogs, it will feminize every frog in there.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
And 10% of the male frogs will turn into fully viable females able to produce viable eggs. There's a lot of other evidence that it's doing it in humans as well.
Fucking right, Alex.
It sucks when he's right, bro.
And one of the things that make you go, is, are they putting that stuff in the water? I mean, they are, but is that's what causing the such a great feminization of men right now because
Yes.
of
Check this out. I saw a
plus
diagram
whey protein.
model of humans throughout, the 1900s, right? And they talked about the size and frame of the average male, and they stack these people up over time from the 20s, 40s, 60s, 80s, 2000s to now. And now you've got all these slender, sleek little 5'4", 120-pound, just weakling NPCs. These people are non-playable characters. You know what I mean? They literally all have long hair, the same look on their face, like they just rolled out of their bed after their girl got done pegging them. You know what I mean? Like these dudes all fucking look like that. It's just a weakened society of men that are roaming around.
Yes.
I said it. I'm not
Jamie
wrong.
said it. I didn't do it. Dave didn't say it.
Dave didn't say it.
I didn't say
Ricky
it
Pike
for
didn't
once.
say it. Jamie Grant said it.
I mean, I think it could be in all of it. I mean, the energy drinks, the supplements.
Look at what these kids are eating.
Protein, right?
Fast food, bro. Fast food. If you want to poison a population, do it through their fucking food system. And fast food, man. Hormones? Come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
You're describing the soy jack, the open mouth, scraggly beard soy jack versus Giga Chad. Based Giga Chad. Online meme warfare. Look, it's more than just the chemicals. I think you got a lot of environmental factors, from the chemicals in the food and the water, from the vaccines and the medicine. You've got phthalates and all the plastic that's in everything. You got 5G. I read from a professor emeritus at Washington State University, Dr. Martin Paul, did a full expose on the damage that it does to the male endocrine system, specifically around the gonads. And it was discovering that it made your nuts shrink. And in future, this was on lab rats or whatever, but it made these mammals nuts shrink. But then the next child's nuts would be smaller too. The next mice baby had smaller nuts and so on from 5 fucking G, which we probably shouldn't talk about either.
I mean, it's an alarming case of women having miscarriages. There's an alarming case of they have women having cancer pockets or cells on their ovaries and stuff.
And we're not at
it's
population
just alarming. Like I know so many people
rates. We're below sustainability. Europeans are as well. So like it's going to wipe us out.
It's what they want. I mean, they've had too many talks, the powers that be, and can't say the name, or it will get talked. This video will get taken down. But
wow,
they've had the interviews and they come out straight out and said it, and we're using this and this and this, we'll do this, and
Ricky, I'm starting to think that these,
and now they're talking. I seen one the other day.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I seen when they were talking about like using mosquitoes and helping putting this thing in the mosquitoes to help kill and control the population of mosquitoes in Africa.
Well, Bill Gates released $1 billion in the States.
But if you're putting all kinds of crazy stuff in the mosquitoes, there went this video.
Oh shit! Gil Bates, actually.
You can say the alphabet, but you can't say his name.
It's not Bill. It was Gil Bates. Sorry. Gil Bates did it.
Yeah, wrong name. Yeah. Sorry, YouTube.
Ricky, I'm beginning to believe that these blood-drinking, Moloch-worshipping pedophiles don't actually have our best interest at heart.
No. I don't. I think you might be right. I see so many. I see so many of my. I've seen some, but there's a lot of left leaning, some extreme left leaning people I know on my Facebook. I've seen on social media. They keep throwing up that one guy that was PED. We'll just put it that way, and it's in the Olympics. But everybody's fussing about the dude in boxing, but they're not saying nothing about the PED. And I'm like, that's because the media is covering it up because they don't want to oust one their own.
Right.
Because so they're not going to put it out there. All the other media, reason everybody's talking about it because ESPN is talking about it. Fox is talking about it. NBC is talking about it. CNN is talking about it. Why they're not talking about the other one? Because they're making sure they're covering it up and not saying nothing about it. And, they don't want, and that's the bad thing. Like, people don't want to look at and don't actually want to accept that thought process. It's not that we don't, normal people don't want to sit there and have, hey, he don't need to be there either. But most people don't know about it because the media does not want that out there because it's, one of their own. It's just like, if you have a certain shooting by a certain person and, or somebody gets killed and it's the murderer.
No picture.
And if they're a certain way, they won't say that there's a certain way because they don't want them to look bad. If there are damn red-blooded, right-wing, country boy,
talk about it.
God help, they're going to fucking
two.
crucify that son of a gun up on forever, and they're going to put it out there and like, yeah, he was here, and yeah, his great grandfather was a Klansman, and all this kind of crap, but they won't even talk about the guy what that one person was. That it's so one-sided, it's so biased, it's so just effed up from the floor up.
Divide and conquer.
Yeah, good times, man. I'm just watching all the video now on Twitter of all the just crazy people out there. I'm overwhelmed by it. I just got to shut that page down. My God.
Ricky, look, palate clean. Yeah, Jamie's on the right track. Ricky, bro. So it's Dagner Shell this weekend, right? We were talking about that fight. That's coming up. That's like 48 hours away or something, huh?
Yeah,
it's right around the corner.
Man, we're getting close.
Yeah. Let's shift gears to positive shit. Yeah, we got to add 2 fights at. Go ahead. You say the name of it, Jamie, because I don't want to say the name wrong. And they get mad at me.
So, yeah, man, Attitude MMA, my dream come true. We are live from Southland Casino Hotel, West Memphis, Arkansas, this Saturday night, August 10. On August 9, I'm more worried about the 9th than anything. We're actually doing an actual media weigh-in, a live press media weigh-in. It's going to be an event, man. And it's kind of cool, man. The casino really went out of their way for these guys. I got them to hook these guys up. They're going to feed them. They're going to take care of these fighters. We're going to have a food spread out for them during the weigh-in so that they can get a snack after they weigh in. And then when we get ready to do the face-off for the big weigh-in that night, doors open at 6. The event kicks off at 7. We'll have food in the back for them, man. They can grab a bite to eat. Try to make it an event for them, man. Make these guys feel special and, let them know that we wanted to do something nice for them. We're going to have Slice Fight Network is going to be in the building. They are going to be doing our post-fight interviews and recording podcasts as well. I'm giving them the opportunity to set up in the penthouse suite upstairs. Ricky as well. Hopefully he's going to come over Saturday night. We're going to film, record an A.I.P podcast over there. It's my first run at setting up a show from start to finish, and I'm glad Southland reached out for me for the opportunity to do this. I'm glad I was able to partner with Attitude MMA and get them guys to get on board with what I want to do. Man, I mean, a hell of a card, man. I mean, we've got so many bangers on this. Let me run through this real quick. You got Taylor Dagner, you got Breeze Shell on it. Our main event that night, Eric Calvert, Dakota Smith. It's going to be for the flyweight Attitude Championship title. Co-main event, man, the 3-0 win Arkansas. Ethan Birmingham is taking on Justice Lamperez. That dude's a vet, man. He's got 22 bouts under his belt, 9 victories. We've got Christian Turner, Trey Manley, Thomas Klingon, Scotty Stover, both their pro debuts. This is actually a rematch for these two guys. And then wrapping up our undercard, we've got a featherweight amateur bout title on the line. Adam Elliott against law school MMA's Elijah Holt. Just an amazing. Oh, yeah, man. Don't forget Double J, John Charius Jones, Mike Bowser. We've been talking about that one all week, last couple of weeks as well. Man, just an amazing lineup, amazing card. I hope everybody comes out. It's going to be fun.
I'm interested to see Scotty because Scotty's a heavyweight that can move like a middleweight. He's amazing. He really is. So I'm looking forward to see him put on a show. Of course, Ethan always going to put up on a show. Dakota's going to do the same thing. He's local guy, Mississippi. He's going to have a crowd out there. There's going to be an army of Dakota Smith shirt wearing summer guns out there. I promise you that.
Tickets are going, man. There's only a handful left in the seated area. So if you're going to get tickets, you need to jump online and do it now. We will have some available at the door. We got a couple food trucks that are going to be out there. Crumpy's Wings from here in Midtown will be out there. The Fiesta Wagon from West Memphis, Arkansas will be over there. So yeah, man, food trucks. We've got, the F3 Energy Ring Girls will be there. Ricky will be there. I'll be there. Dave, are you coming out?
Bro, I'm going to be watching it with my wife on the couch.
May need to.
But we will be there in spirit and watching live from the YouTube stream. Thank you, Ricky.
Dude, hey, it's a beautiful thing, man. You can watch it live right there, YouTube, through the LFA Fight Network. We are the only promotion right now that is currently being streamed on that network, aside from the LFA, of course. But we are the first regional and the only regional promotion kicked out on those guys right now. So, man, we got a show for you guys, man. I hope you enjoy the show, man. I need your feedback, Dave. Tell me what you think when you get done watching it.
Will do, brother. Will do, man. I'll give you all my notes. I can't wait. I'm excited for you guys on your maiden voyage here with this new partnership. And I'm excited to see somebody from my gym face somebody from Ricky's gym. I can tell you I'm still sore and tired from last night's workout. And I took off tonight in order to do this with you guys, which is a handy excuse. But Bree is getting ready. I know your fighter is getting ready, so that's going to be an exciting fight, huh?
Oh yeah, no doubt. They are both. They'll both be in there ready, and it's going to be one of the top fights, I believe, because neither one of them is going to back down. Neither one of them is going to. They're both tough as hell. So, no disrespect to either one. It's going to be an interesting fight for sure. Of course, can't wait to see it. Really, them and then JJ's fight. I'm excited about seeing JJ and Bowser. That's going to be in a show. Two big old 170ers.
Man,
throwing down.
Bowser trained with Danny and Kimball, on a regular, man. Whew. I don't want to fight him.
I understand. I tell you what, I won't lie. I had to step up everything I got. Is about all I got anymore, I think, to help JJ get ready, and of course with other people and stuff.
But right.
I know me personally, I've had to step up my game and just push myself to my damn near my limit, to my old ass, and trying to
keep up with him, man. Shit.
He's 20-something-year-old kids, man, and it's getting harder and harder, but I'm trying. I'm still here. I'm still kicking, so I ain't stopping.
The soy jack that Jamie described earlier is not the type that ends up in these gyms beating up on us old heads. Actually, it's the we get the exceptions in there,
No.
the standouts.
No. Yeah, for sure. It's amazing some of the kids that come through and then, just pure natural ability. And like I had a influx of like 6 foot tall 19-year-old kids. I think I had 3 or 4 show up one time. Like, man, where the hell all these kids come from? And it's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing to see them and then see them grow and getting better and everything like that. But yeah, some of these kids they're eating well and eating what they need to be eating and getting big and strong and freaks of nature. But there are a lot of
softies,
betas.
Soy boys.
But betas don't want to do what we do.
In November, Papa Charlie, non-playable characters, man.
Mm-hmm.
Sad world we live in, bro.
Yeah. Hey, Ricky, thanks again.
Well, Ricky Pike, reel us out of here, baby.
Yeah. Appreciate you coming on, and appreciate both of y'all coming on in here. And I know it's a little bit, when we're recording this, is a little later than we have been, but it's been a good time though, for sure. And sure appreciate it. Any shout out, Dave? You got any shout outs?
Man, any shout outs, man? I don't know, man. I better not go down that road, but I will just say in general terms that as I've been easing back into the MMA world and kindling some old friendships, man, there's been a lot of love shown to me, and I'm just getting an ascertaining of the landscape, meeting all the new young fighters, and it's just a lot of love. The local MMA scene is awesome. Meeting you and connecting with you guys has been an awesome event in my life right now. So I'm really excited and grateful. So my shout out is to you guys. How about that?
Hey, thanks, man.
Appreciate it. What about you, Jamie? Who you want?
Man,
where you at, or shout out, or whatever you want to do?
I got lots of people, man. I got to think. It's a big weekend for me, man. 6 years ago when I started doing MMA, I was the promotions manager over at Southland Casino Hotel. And the guy that actually brought me in over there used to work for me. He's now in my position over there. But right after I did my very first MMA show, I remember going back to my office, man, and sitting down in my office, and me and him were like, we got to have an MMA show over here. And we just didn't have the space, didn't have the facility at the time to make it happen. And, I end up leaving the company due to COVID and end up pursuing the MMA thing full time. And to be able to bring both those worlds back together 6 years after this started, man, and make this work it's huge for me. My dad's coming in town, man. I got a bunch of friends that are going to be there. My family's going to be there. Man, it's going to be a party of sorts. So we're going to have a good time, man. I got the penthouse suite, baby. We're going to get wrecked. We're going to throw a TV out the window. No, we're not. I can't do that. But yeah, man, it's going to be a great time, man. I'm really excited. So I like it. And to be honest, man, like I don't get nervous about fights. But like yesterday, I guess the gravity of it set in, and I was like, my professional reputation is on the line right here. I've got conversations working with 3 other casinos right now that are all watching how this one turns out to give me an answer of what they want to do going into next year. So, man, shit, I got a lot riding on this, so yeah. Good luck to us.
Sounds good. Yes, sir.
Teamwork makes the dream work, baby.
It does, baby. It does. It does.
There you go. Well, I appreciate if somebody wait to the very end and listen to all this chaos. We appreciate you listening. That's who I'm gonna shout out, the listener that listened to this whole damn thing. I appreciate y'all listening. Wherever you're listening on, please like and share. We got it. It's on the Rumble. It's on Spotify. It's on Spreaker. I'm even throwing some on TikTok. Apple, wherever you like to get it, it's on there. And my podcast also is on the Troubled Minds Radio Network, the KUAP digital broadcasting. So you can pull up on there and listen to a bunch of great shows on there too, and a bunch of different open-minded individuals of all kinds of cool ideas. And that's what kind of got me into doing this more, like hearing Troubled Minds, and then I started more. I listened to more podcasts, and then like I want to shout out like Sam Tripoli too. Like he got like 7 of them, I think. He's all over the place, but listen to so many more, and then now I'm getting to do this, and hopefully, with me doing this, has helped. Possibly maybe y'all even, both of y'all talk about doing your own podcast maybe one time, and maybe we're it's in the air. Who knows? But that's to me that's the greatest blessing and joy there. Maybe I can give back. So I appreciate y'all, and like I said again, appreciate y'all listening. As always, y'all keep on keeping on, and peace and chicken grease. Y'all be good.
Peace.